Hi, this is Kim. Welcome back to another step-by-step lesson. Today I'm going to talk about myths that people actually believe. These are computer problems that are myths. The problems are not myths, but the information is a myth. Anyways, let's move on. You'll see what I mean. Okay, if you have a slow computer, that means you have a virus. Well, maybe, but probably not. Many viruses don't slow down your computer at all. They do other malicious things. They could be sending information to all your friends. They could be just passing themselves along. I mean, there's so many things that a virus does. I'm not going to go into that. But it doesn't necessarily slow down your computer. It could, but there's a lot of reasons why your computer's slow. And here are a few. You could have too many programs inside your startup programs. If you load your computer and it's got a start Dropbox and Spotify and you've got Teams running and you got your email automatically loading and this and that and the other thing, it's going to take a long time for that computer to boot up because it has to load all those programs. So go into your startup settings and take some of them out that you don't necessarily need to start every single time you turn on your computer. They'll still work. You just click on them inside the programs area. You don't have to have them auto start every single time. You could have hard drive issues, or your hard drive could be almost full. If your hard drive is almost full, then your computer's really struggling to run programs, and that could be a reason it's slow. You could have Windows updates that are sitting there ready to run. And some people will never run them. They sit there for a long time and it's sitting there ready and you just need to run them. And sometimes it's downloading an update in the background and you might not know that. So go to your Windows updates area and see if there's something sitting there. You could have too many browser add-ons and extensions. You know, if you've got a bunch of services running on your browser, that also takes up resources and it takes it away from the other programs that you're trying to run. So if you got your browser open in the background, you've got 4 tabs open, you've got a bunch of extensions running, and let's say you have the browser minimized. Those things are all still there sitting running while you're trying to use Photoshop or something. So you're taking away resources that the software needs. So anyways, check that. You could have too many programs running at once, same sort of thing. You could have a bunch of programs open that you're not necessarily using at that moment, but they're sitting there using resources. You could have rogue programs running in the background. So you could have had, I'm just going to use an example. Let's say Excel locked up and it didn't close properly, but you don't know that. So it could be in the background still running and you don't know that. Or a program that takes up a lot of resources, like AutoCAD, for example. It crashed in the background. You thought you closed it, but it's still sitting there running in the background in its unstable form. So it's using up a bunch of resources. So what you can do is you can hit Control-Alt-Delete, go into Task Manager, and then open up the Processes tab and the Program Applications tab and see if there's something running that you're not aware of, and you can close it there. You can have an overzealous antivirus program constantly running scans. I see this a lot. So that could be because of malware. It could be because it found something. It could be it's just in a loop. So check your antivirus program. You could just have an older computer with not enough RAM and you're trying to run all these high-end programs and you just don't have enough horsepower. So you need to upgrade your computer, buy a new one. 99% of computer issues can be solved by simply restarting the computer. I say this over and over to the people that I support, and every single time I walk in there, they're like, oh, wow, I didn't restart it yet, because they know that's what I'm going to ask them. Did you restart the computer? I know it's a joke, and people say it all the time, but it works. So just try it. Last but not least, it could have a virus or other malicious activities happening without your knowledge due to some malware that's on your computer. So do a scan. But the virus is not the main reason that computers are slow. There's all these other things that could be going on. The next myth is that virus software protects you 100% of the time. Once you have it installed, you're protected. That's not true. A good solid virus protection program should protect your computer from most viruses, but none will work 100% of the time, because these guys who create the viruses, they are smart and they come up with new ideas and new things to try. And a lot of times they put out a virus before, these virus protection companies have any idea that it even exists. So you have to keep it updated. You have to be very proactive, because it's not going to solve all your problems. Some things may slip through. So just update it often. If it doesn't update automatically, go in and do it manually. You don't want a little bug in your computer. Haha, I thought that was funny. Okay, use common sense. Don't click on links inside of emails. Don't download and install every single program you come across. Be aware and conscious about what you put on that computer. Just use common sense. If you get an email from someone and it has a bunch of attachments in it, and this person never even sends you emails, chances are that's a virus that person has that's trying to get to you. That's how viruses work. They just use one person's resources or email or whatever and get to another computer, and then that person clicks on it, and then that goes to the next, then all their friends get it. Anyways, it's spread just like a human virus. Viruses can make your computer explode. This is another myth. They can definitely harm your computer, but they will not affect your hardware in any way. They'll cause other problems, but it's not going to break your video card. It's not going to make your motherboard start working. That's just not how they work. They can attack your operating system, your files, your firmware, even the BIOS, but not the hardware itself. So they can make your computer inoperable, but the hardware itself will be fine. If a piece of hardware fails, it's because of something else. Simple enough. Okay, Macs never get viruses. That's another myth. Most viruses don't attack Mac computers. That is true. But there are viruses created specifically to attack Mac computers. So Mac users, you got to use common sense too. Malware can come from websites you visit or emails that are sent to you. So you can easily be on a website, very innocent looking website, and click to view a picture or something, and that can have something embedded in it. A lot of times these cookies and trackers that are built into websites are innocent and do nothing but follow you around, but sometimes there's other bad things that happen on these websites. You just have to be careful, and you won't always know until your computer starts acting strange. There's a software called Malwarebytes, which is free. You can run that, and I bet you'll find something on your computer that'll find something, whether it's a cookie, a tracker, actual, really horrible piece of software that has been embedded on your computer. Run it. Malwarebytes, it's called. Malwarebytes. They do have a commercial version, but you can use the free version. So basically, use common sense. Don't install things that ask for administrative passwords unless you're 100% sure that it's legitimate software from a legitimate source. If you're trying to get a PDF reader and you want the Adobe PDF reader, and you go to some random website and they're like, oh, here's the link to the PDF reader, you may put yourself at risk. Go to Adobe website and get the PDF reader. Same thing with all the websites. Go to the official site to get the download. Okay, next myth. Auto updates are dangerous. On the contrary, auto updates keep your computer secured. These updates not only keep your devices up to date, but they also fix security loopholes. They Update drivers for your hardware to keep it secure. Yeah, run the updates. And make sure that the updates are not paused for more than a day or two. You could end up skipping a very important security update. Inside of Windows, it allows you to pause the updates for 7 days. If you go into advanced setting, you can turn them off. It's really, really bad. You get backlogged on updates. It's going to take you weeks to catch up, first of all. And you're skipping, these are security updates. A lot of them are driver updates. And those are tiny and they're small and they're fast. But if you skip these major updates, you're really putting yourself at risk. So, you know what? People think, oh, I don't want my computer to restart, or I don't have time to sit here and wait. Do it right before you go to bed. Or if it's a work computer, do it right before you leave. And then let it run while you're gone, and, it'll be great. Okay, the next myth. Drain the battery 100% before charging it. We're talking about laptops here. Old style batteries like to be drained all the way down. But newer lithium-ion batteries work much better when they're not drained down to zero. In fact, you can actually shorten the lifespan of your battery if you drain them down. So feel free to recharge as often as you like. Every day, a couple times a day, whatever. If you're sitting at your desk, plug it in. If you're near a power outlet, plug it in. Keep yourself, charged up. Okay, next myth. Cheap computers will break faster than expensive ones. This is not necessarily true. Now, obviously, if you go buy a $300 computer, it's not going to last as long as, if it has a bunch of cheap parts in it from who knows where. It may not last as long as a $6,000 laptop that you buy with all name brand, top of the line parts. But it's not necessarily true. If you take care of the computer, you run your updates, you don't drop it, don't spill anything in it, one computer can last just as long as another, regardless of how much it costs. Shop around and get the best price on the features that are most important to you. Try to find one on sale. You can get a top-end computer with really great components, and it's on sale. Maybe it was last year's model, which is fine. Just make sure you get the specs that you need, and you'll be fine. You don't have to spend a fortune to get a great computer. Bonus tip, when buying a computer, get as much RAM as you can afford. RAM is the single most important feature, in my opinion, on a computer. That component will dictate how fast your computer is. It will dictate how well it runs. RAM is used to run the software. The more RAM you have, the more software you can run. The better it's going to run, the smoother it's going to run. So, yeah. RAM. RAM is king. Okay, let's see. The next myth is magnets destroy data. Magnets can mess with electronics, but on modern hard drives, a magnet will not hurt your data. Unless you're using a huge, massively strong magnet. In fact, hard drives have magnets in them. That's how they work. So, flash drives, memory cards, and the like use flash memory. There is nothing magnetic about flash memory. So you're good there, too. Magnets will not hurt your flash drive or your memory card. Hard drives contain magnets, and speakers do, too. Old style CRT monitors were definitely affected by magnets. There was a thing called degaussing you had to do. But newer LED and LCD monitors will not be affected at all. So don't worry about the magnets. I wouldn't go and stick a bunch on your computer, but if you have one on your desk, don't worry. Not going to hurt anything. The next myth. You need to stick with the same technician forever. This is a strange myth, and I found it over and over online. It was kind of fun when I was researching this. There's nothing wrong with staying with one person, and if he's fixing your computer every time, great, stay with that person. But if there's something he can't fix, it's fine to ask someone else to work on your computer. It's not like it's very difficult. It's like taking your car to a mechanic. every Ford mechanic can work on all the Fords. Every Windows tech can work on just about every Windows computer. It's just kind of how it is. No one person knows everything, and you can easily have someone else work on it. So, if you have a person who's struggling and, you're paying them all this money and they can't fix the problem, take it somewhere else. Never call the number that may pop up on your monitor randomly that says they are Microsoft and you need to call them. This is a bad, bad, bad thing. This Microsoft error, it's malware basically, and it pops up on your screen and it'll basically say, we've detected a hardware error. Call us immediately, and give a phone number. Microsoft messages will never contain a phone number. Microsoft messages will come up on your notifications once in a while that maybe there's an issue, you need an update or whatever. It's never going to have you call them, and they're never going to call you out of the blue. It just doesn't happen. So if that happens, just hang up on the person. If you get the pop-up on your screen, the Windows, just close it out. If it won't close, just shut down the computer, restart, it'll be gone. Now, back to your stick with the same technician. Depending on the issue, ask the kid next door to help you. These kids know everything. Or your friend's son who knows a lot about technology. Let them help you. You don't have to pay a bunch of money and go to Best Buy and pay their Geek Squad to fix your problems. Yes, you may need to, but you don't always have to, because a lot of times the problems are very simple. So someone who knows what they're doing can easily help you. And these kids are amazing. They're so smart. So you can always go to a repair facility or have someone come out to your house and fix it. If you're a business, I recommend hiring a professional, not a bunch of kids. But if it's just your home computer and you've got a backup, let the kid try. Backup is a whole other thing I'm going to talk about in another video, but make sure you have a backup of your data. If you don't know how to do it, find someone to help you. Okay, the last myth I'm going to address is never use the power button to turn off your PC. Well, it's not a great idea to do this hard shutdown by using the power button, but it really won't hurt anything. You can do it. If the computer won't shut down, just press the button. Hold it in for like 5 seconds, it'll turn off. When you shut down and restart properly, that is when your computer updates run. So you really need to do it the right way. You go down to start, click shut down, and restart. That's just the easiest way to do it. It's best for your computer. It's also not great to leave your computer on for an endless amount of time. You need to restart periodically to give your computer a fresh start and to allow the updates to run. When you restart your computer, everything gets reset back to a fresh turn on. And if it's been on for a long time, you have a lot of temporary files in the background. There's going to be a lot of stuff that could be stuck in the background running. The software just likes to be restarted. Windows loves to be restarted. I don't know if it does, but it really does help. Okay. If Windows running an update and it says not to power down the computer, don't. Even if it seems like it's taking forever, don't shut down your computer in the middle of an update. These Windows updates are working all over inside of the computer, doing all sorts of things, and if you shut it down, you could brick your computer. It will not work. Sometimes it'll work fine if you shut it down, but just don't do it. It's really, really bad. It can cause a lot of problems. So if it says don't shut it down, don't shut it down. It'll turn off eventually. Now, if it's days that's been sitting there, yeah, go ahead and turn it off. There's something broken. It's in a loop or something. But some updates can take several hours, and you just have to be patient. Like I said before, do them at night before you're going to go to bed. Then you don't have to worry about it. So anyways, those are the myths that I found that are not true. And I hope this helps you. Please like my video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Another thing I wanted to add is that if you have any questions or comments on any of this, please put it below, or if there's any other myths that you can think of that you want me to see if they're real, I'd be happy to do that for you. So comment below. I'll try to respond quickly, and hopefully that will help you. Thanks again.